All right, shalom, y'all. This is James B. Just want to make a quick video, you know what I'm saying? This Shabbat is about to come in. So yeah, one of the things I want to talk about is and ask the question out there. With all these things going on in the world right now, we have a lot of stuff from the mask going down, right? A lot of people feel like people forcing things on people. People feel like they got to go the extreme route when they feel like people are forcing things on them. They want to force, not to force, and force people to do something. But anyway, or else they get fined or else they cannot go in the building. And you have even some people who see that LGBT or that there's bigger problems than LGBT when it comes to an agenda. Before I go into that, I want to cover one topic real quick, and it's with the mask. Here in Florida, you have a divide. Y'all know about DeSantis with his mask ban, and also I think Abbott in Texas. And I agree with, people, shouldn't be able to mandate that only on certain occasions. Of course, if you are a doctor, makes sense to have on a face mask. As even Willie D said, some people who handle food restaurants, makes sense. But, and if he was saying, he's kind of, balanced. You can't be too left and too right. I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, everything a Democrat says is not bad. Everything a Republican says is not bad or right or wrong. There's right and wrong on both sides. But it's like now you got to either be completely on that or you got to be completely, in which that is completely fine. Even the Bible said not to be lukewarm, hot or cold. But hey, sign of the times. But also, with that being said, even in the Bible, there's things that sometimes are a gray area. There's certain things you can be put to death for. There's certain things you could just, it's a violation, but it's not that serious. You just make a trespass offering. So with that being said, forcing people to wear a mask, and even in their own house, is a problem. Where you pay bills, where you light bill, right? And to even say, try to suggest last year with double masking, huh? If the mask itself does not keep you from getting it in, it does not protect you from. Then what's the point of having two? If the first one doesn't already do a sufficient job, it's supposed to keep it, I guess, the aerosol from going further out, right? A certain amount of feet. And like I said, with that being said, if people argue, what's the problem with just wearing a mask? Nothing really per se, but also got to keep in mind that for security reasons, for those who claim to, be wise in the streets, for security reasons, one mainly, if those who claim to be smart, if they've been paying attention, they had news articles from here, Florida, and I think it was in New York, but it's happened in other states. There was a string of robberies taking place from Florida all the way through, and they called them COVID mask bandits, right? A lot of criminals, and this is on the news articles, even the liberal news articles had it, the video clips or news clips, and the experts mentioned that a lot of criminals were using the mask mandate as a way to infiltrate and rob. And they had a lot of bank robberies, a lot more of that. So that's something that, for security reasons, people can't blend in. People before couldn't blend in. Now you can go into banks. They mentioned that. One of the people mentioned that in that article where I might put in the comment section of this video, mentioned that, before you couldn't walk into banks. You couldn't walk into certain stores. And especially me being a so-called black man, walking around with a bandana or walking around with a face covering, especially going to a store, was a big no-no. Then if you ever go to a bank, one side of the door say, this or that is not allowed over your face, over your head. But then it's saying, please wear a face. Like, is it like, that doesn't make any logical sense. Why one side of the door is saying not to have this, but the other side of the door is saying have it. and for security reasons. And like I said, so this whole mask mandate was a criminal's wet dream. For those who have any insight on the criminal world, if you know anybody, have done any, come on, right? Doesn't take a rocket science to figure it out. That's one reason why it's not terrible wrong to have a mask, but far as why it's not a good idea to mandate it all across the board for everyone in the society. Another reason that's been proven that I mentioned before, the mask doesn't really do that big of a job when it comes to viruses. When it comes to is other article too I'm gonna put where they mentioned the chemicals, the hazardous chemicals that you're breathing in continuously, and these masks that most people wear, and that they sometimes if I go in certain buildings, government buildings have to wear them, that they're not clean, they're not scented, they're not very good. So you're breathing in a lot of chemicals and harm chemicals that could be on them, even when you're thinking they're just fresh out the box, whatever. But yeah, so there's a lot, and of course you can wash them and all that, but still you're still breathing in the same type of amount of germs and chemicals. So over time it will wear out. Society mentally, you can't see people's facial expressions as well, whether somebody's lying, whether they're telling the truth, whether it's harder. People are more distant from each other, and just being an individual, everybody looking the same, wearing the same thing for years, months, can have an impact mentally. Also, another thing, and I've spent a long time on, I spent more time on this. Also, another thing that you mentioned that I'll mention, Dr. Fauci is another example. He he said that this team he don't believe was made or that it developed naturally, and that there needs to be more investigation. Now, this is on CNN. Because it's on CNN, all the liberal, mainstream or lamestream media, this is from them. So he said this back in May 11th, right? They had a report. I'm trying to think the institute he said it, actually said it to was May 11th, but CNN brought it on the 24th of May. I believe May of this year. So he doesn't believe, he's not convinced, he's not convinced that it was made, he's not convinced that it was developed naturally. And then he wants an open investigation. So stuff like that, like people get quiet when you mention those things, security, what Dr. Fauci says, about, there's even another doctor who have a video proving that with the aerosol that he used, that he breathing out the mask, like I said, there's nothing wrong with having it, but just forcing on other people to the point where, you can't, even in your own home, you cannot even, and this is what they were trying to implement. They would, you can only have a certain amount of people at your own home. You can only walk around your house with a covering on your face. Like, so you telling people they can't walk around their house? Yeah, like you pay bill, people like, I'm a grown ass man, I can walk around my house, but they don't want to. Now you can't if you let, see what I'm saying? So it's bigger than. But anyway, so with that being said, like that's the issue with the mask. Like I said, it's not necessarily nothing wrong. But and also want to leave that, just because somebody has an opinion about something, that doesn't mean they're anti-ax or anti-mask, right? You don't have to be, you're not anti that. You're just anti, the mandate per se, far as across the board, the mandate. Not even a mandate, like I said, when it comes to people who want to serve, people's food, that's okay. If you, I could see that. Or people who, like I said, are doctors, a mask mandate. But things like that. But far as, everyday civilians just walking about your business, or you just trying to go into a store and come on out to do that, it's like, that's, it's too much, So, it's way too much, especially some people might stay in the store 2 or 3 hours. But if you're in the store, it's going to be hard for the stuff that is easy spread and all that, and people are inside the building. Like I say, the mask doesn't do anything. That's all. I'll do another video about the whole virus. Okay, anyway. So another thing too as well, they got seen a shot for this, but they don't have a shot for people who got 3 letters, who got who have other viruses, a virus that was very impactful, that affected people, especially in the Black or even LGBT community, years, but they cannot, when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to all these diseases that have plagued people, melanated people for years, there's no, rush to get you to, they couldn't develop a scene in that short amount of time, like less than a year. They already had it. And they say usually it takes no more than it takes, the quickest they can only do it is usually 3 to 4 years before they even have a scene that can even be used, even, to even practice with, But they, at less than a year, they was able to get it. It hasn't even been, it hasn't even really been out there that long. So why is it, and they doing all this extra stuff, hey, if you get this, we'll give you a gun. If you get this, you get free this, or you get money. But when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to cancer, when it comes to actual viruses, as I mentioned, that affects the immune system, people that I have known, that I feel like it probably even wasn't even that virus in the 90s. It was probably more the medication that probably took their life, rest in peace. But where was the mandatory? Where was the rush to say, hey? And where was the scene? Where was the shots? Where was the for that? But for this, they got it. Less than that. Reparations. Where's the reparations? Where's the trillions of dollars towards our reparations? But for this, less than a year. Okay. That's just one of the issues. But also, I've never mentioned on that. Also, I want to go into about, other controversy where, like I said before, a lot of people are up in arms about people who are, I guess, picking up arms and coming against the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Man, everybody know the story I say all the time. Trans attracted man. Identify as a straight man, but hey, whatever. You call me whatever you want. Well, okay, I don't care. Okay, so the baby made some comments at the Rolling Loud, whatever, and he pissed a lot of people off. And it wasn't necessarily that what he said about niggas sucking in the parking lot. It was also his statements that he said, just about, AIDS and HIV. And it's like, that's not a gay disease. Second, like, and there's people who could be born with it as well. So there's people who were born with it, who showed up at your show, who didn't have sex with anybody, was born with it, with that, who you offended. Also, you're talking about some guys, but he kept it general. He was generalization. We talked about women, poom poom smelling like water, kept it, general, right? Your light, right? Your cell phone, right? On your, okay. But when it comes to the parking lot, when it comes to gay men engaging in oral, here we got the parking lot. Where did this come from? Who was doing what in the parking lot? Where did that come from? That's very specific. And there's a new video that surfaced recently of the baby being a baby. That's all I'm gonna say. If my babes had, somebody had posted up on one of these sites, whatever, and I get that, and for those, so usually the loudest ones, okay? Backstage, it was him and another guy. It was backstage somewhere, whatever, right? He was, kind of being a little risky, and dude had to push the baby off. But all that being said, like we do know those who got the loudest mouth when we come to people like Eddie Long, people who, so many people who, so-called black men who have supposedly had a stance against homosexuality, LGBT. And they themselves, right after that, were exposed for doing the exact thing. A lot of people have. People I know personally. People that I've seen happen. So it's kind of ironic. And like I said, he would just, go like, where did that come from? Where did that come from, baby? Where did that come? What felt the need to just bring that out all of a sudden? Like, and why are you obsessed about gay men giving each other, you know what? Because it's the same dude who calls himself the baby. It's the same guy who walk around in a diaper. Like, this is what I want to say. For you people who defend the baby, all right, who claim to be against LGBT, who believe that entertainers like the baby and others are really against the community, are really good spokesman against homosexuality and pro-heterosexuality or masculinity, these are the guys y'all follow. A dude who walks around in public, who was out in public in the street around men and women in diapers. A young man, who, on another occasion, had a diaper in, I think, a radio station. Baby order, calls himself the baby. Now, I don't profess to be a street dude or, hell, even maybe streetwise. But when I came up, if you was doing stuff like that, and you claim to be a G or an OG or whatever, or I'm a hood thug, whatever, somebody gonna try to do something to you. That's all I'm saying. Somebody gonna see you. And the thing is, the baby's own team, he did an interview a while back. After that happened with, the pictures and the video of him with the diapers, his own team stopped fucking with him because of it. So if his own team stopped effing him behind, what? You get what I'm saying? Because anybody that's, I guess, really, that's a bad look. It's supposed to be a bad look for the team, for the squad, right? You're supposed to be some hardcore, thug, baggy, you know what I'm saying, rough, niggas, right? But you walking around here with baby on a diaper, like, nigga, you making us look bad. Man, I'm a hood nigga. You ain't from my hood. That's what they would tell us. Like back in the day, man, niggas would bag on you for just being in a ditch getting burned. I had niggas, bag on me by burning in the ditch with my homie Goose. You know what I'm saying? Dude, if anybody would have went to school with the high school with diaper on, you could even skateboard back in the day. I got picked on because I skateboard, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I used to like to skateboard. Oh, nigga, you trying to be white? I used to get picked on for skateboarding, nigga. So there's no way I could have claimed to be a hood dude. Anybody I knew could have claimed to be a hood dude walking around the streets around other people and men in a fucking diaper and calling yourself the baby. Hey, what's up, the baby? Imagine I'm a grown-ass man. For all you transpos, I would never call a grown-ass man a Sharon. I would never call a grown-ass this, that, and the other. I would never call somebody who born with this or call them miss this and miss that. You mister, you got a penis. You calling another grown-ass man walking around a diaper a baby. How does that make you feel? Hey, come here, baby. Come here, the baby. You'll call a grown-ass man the baby. There's another rapper called Baby. Yo, baby. Yo, baby. But, y'all mad at everybody who live in their truth, right? But the people who claim to be against those who live in the truth, are they against it? They're against it. But they do this type of shit. Y'all defend them. They've been exposed or been rumored many times. They have very suspect, if you want to say suspect lyrics, y'all defend them. These entertainers, 1 minute, the baby, he's da-da-da-da-da. You took the parking lot, like, I said what I said. I said what I said. I wasn't talking about my gay followers who ain't doing that. I apologize. You take the apology down. He's an entertainer. I told one of the elder, I said, just like got mad at, what's the guy, Godfrey, whatever. They was getting mad. He said something about interracial dating black women, whatever like that. I said, these are entertainers. These are not black activists. They are entertainers. Let me explain to you, celebrity versus entertainer. Celebrity is celebrity. They're well known. They just known, people known, whatever. Okay. Entertainer can be well known, but they entertain. So meaning if you're not clapping up people, they're crowd pleasers, they're people pleasers. And the Bible talks about people pleasers. I want to talk about what the Bible says about homosexuality, which I've done. I got into that, the nitty gritty, all that. What it says, what it doesn't say. It doesn't say. But the Bible talk about being people pleasers. These are what the people y'all look up to be spokesmen against the community. They're entertainers. So that means wherever the money go, that's where they go. So if no people are not clapping, even Outkast, Andre said, if you don't move your feet, then I don't eat, and we don't eat, so we like net to net. You know what I'm saying? We like check to check. So If you don't move your feet, then I don't eat. So we like neck to neck on I think it's Elevators was a song. So yeah, if enough people not clapping, they're not eating. And if they're not eating, whatever they got to do to keep that money rolling in, they're entertainers. Listen to me, they're fucking entertainers, man. They're not paid black activists. So stop looking for these pseudo straight or allegedly straight or whatever guys to be y'all spokesman. Dave Chappelle said something about, he was on his ass on Oprah, talking about put on the dress, right? Robin Hood Men in Tights, the movie. People brought that clip. He was in the dress. So he's sitting there acting like it's the first time. Yeah, I'm more funny than the dress, man. I'm more funny than the dress. But he didn't talk about, yeah, I'm better than the dress this time. He making it seem like I say, entertainer. Even when it comes to, let me expose what's going on behind the scenes. They pay to even give you a little bit of that. But I ain't gonna get into it. For those who know what I'm saying, you got people controlled okay, you feel me? So yeah, he's sitting there on Oprah acting like he not down with it. He was in the dress before. And he was in tights. Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Also, you can't wear no tights, huh? You know what I'm saying? You can't do no tights no more. You can't, you too big for that. You too big for the dress. But you act like you've never done it before. Also, Kevin Hart. Another Kevin. You got Kevin Samuels, Kevin Hart, Kevin Gates. Yeah, shout out to Kevin Gates, you know what I'm saying? But Kevin Hart, another example, put on the dress. Entertainers. So whatever they got to do to entertain, to get that money, that's what they want to do. That's what they've shown. But what they end up doing, put on the dress. I'm funny in the dress. I can't do this dress thing. But that's what they did before, in the 90s. So, I mean, it's, like I said before, it's like, look at who you people are, who defend people like the baby. And look at the baby. Look, these are y'all leaders. These are y'all key. These are y'all straight leaders, man. For everything that's black masculine, this is who y'all defend. It's just like you can't win when you're not right within. So everybody else, this person put on the dress. This person did this. This person did that. But the people y'all defend, I mean, the suspect stuff slipping out their mouths, man. You know, they on a radio station hitting on a group of other rappers. You got producers hitting on, you know what I'm saying, other rappers, you know, want their names and stuff. You feel me? Like, look who these guys, look who the baby hangs around. Look who he chills with. But if somebody like me or somebody else was to chill with him, y'all would suspect nothing. Like, for real. But anyway, that's kind of what I want to say about this, man. I done covered things about the mask and about baby woo woo. Just let's say, you know, be mindful who y'all watch out for, man. I mean, who y'all support. Like, y'all support and follow anybody. And, you know, y'all want to throw shade at other people and be like, these people doing that. They around here having this sex and having that sex. Just like we go down in Jamaica, we go down in Jamaica yard, we go in America, right? Who are the people who are picking up the queens, you know, the gully queens, who are picking up, you know, all the gay people? Who are the people picking them up? And it's usually people who claim to be against the thing that you claim to be against. Everybody, you tell me, anybody who say they're against, they're not for LGBT, them actually straight as they claim to be, they're straighter than a ruler. Like everybody who claims to be against LGBT, they're not into that. They're not dealing with that, you know? They are straight. Do you believe that? They had a pastor in Jamaica who was, me not support lesbian, me not support none of them things. You see me, you know? And he was on a video with a dildo. So, yeah, with wood in his mouth, you know what I'm saying? So, from yard to America to wherever, most of the people who are very vocal against it, I don't like it because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Code for, I guess, kind of horny when I see all them, you know, walking around. That's for when people say homosexuality makes them feel, or homosexual or trans person makes them feel uncomfortable. That's usually the case. I mean, we'd be here all day of all the politicians and pastors, or you name it, who were against it. Even there was a pastor in my city, I think, was it last year or 2019, who went to Uganda. The white pastor went to Uganda. He was one of, you know, and it was a big proponent against LGBT. And we know how Uganda is. And he himself was exposed for messing with the boys. So there's so many people. I saw a video of a T.S. Madison dad saying that he couldn't accept her transition. He was doing all that good talk like a lot of y'all do. And like I used to do before I accepted my truth, right? And Miss T.S. Madison, mama put dad on blast. It was all on video. And she mentioned it, that he used to deal with the girls. Mama's, you know, that he used to deal with the girls and the boys back in the day. So I guess he feel like it's guilty conscience. Like he used to deal with, you know, T.S. Madison, the girls who are like, you know, back in the day. So he feel like, dang, my child ended up becoming the thing that I hated doing. I used to say, this was the last time. I don't want this to happen. This is not who I am. And I'm going to make sure my child don't be like, because, you know, looking at it from a terrible perspective. But anyway. But yeah, it's so many times the people who are the most vocal, and people I know personally, somebody who tried to help me get somebody out of pants and put them in a dress, that same person, they themselves was hiding their sexuality. So they was helping me to get somebody that we both knew to dress a certain way. To dress as the gender that it, and this person, this female, was they themselves. They were. So yeah, I could go all day, but just know that, man. And I done kind of went all day right here, man. James Speeds. All I want to say, Shabbat Shalom. Y'all be good out there, and y'all live y'all truth. Like I said, I've done videos exposing, talking about, you know, what the Bible really says about homosexuality, trans. For any new person who don't know about me, go to that video. If not, I'll deal with it here. So any little thing you want to say about that, hey, I've said it all and I can deal with it too. All right. Y'all be safe out there and be safe. Shalom.